Well, welcome to Gentle Flow Yoga this morning. We're going to start in a seated position. So some of the props you'll need are, if you'd like, you can use yoga blocks or you can use canned goods. So just something for a little support. And then you can also use a beach towel or just a regular towel or a blanket. And maybe even a kitchen towel if you want to use it for a strap. So those are the props that we may need, but I will let you know, and we'll just get started here this morning on this cold, chilly morning in a nice seated position, hands on the knees, and then turn those palms up, and then start to slide the hands back down the thighs so that your elbows are hanging by your waist. Puts our shoulders in a nice position. Our hearts are open. Let's begin to deep breathe. Bringing the breath down into the belly, the ribs, the chest. Exhale, releasing the chest, the ribs, and the belly. This breathing begins to calm our minds, helps us to focus on our practice this morning. So if you'd like, you could begin to close your eyes or just look down towards the floor. Just set your intention for your practice today. Whatever it is, stress relief, fitness, movement, or just for this next hour to take your mind off of world events. And then gently opening your eyes. Let's inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, take that right hand down to the mat. Left arm comes overhead, lifting the waist out of the hips. Nice. Inhale, right arm back to the sky. Exhale, left hand down to the mat. Right arm comes overhead. Again, lifting the chest. Breathing into the side body. Inhale, arms back to center. Let's exhale one more time. Right hand down to the mat. Left arm comes overhead. This time, see if you can ground your left sit bone into the mat just by pressing gently into that right hand. Nice. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, left hand down to the mat. Right arm overhead. Gently pressing into that left hand, grounding that right sit bone into the mat. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Nice. From here, we'll begin to warm up the spine. We're going to come onto all fours. You can place your beach towel or a blanket under your knees if you'd like. It's not necessary, it's just for comfort. And so in our tabletop position, we want to make sure that our shoulders are over our wrists and our hips are over our knees. And that just helps to support our joints. On the inhale, we're going to lift the tailbone, lift the chin, look up. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin for cat. Inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone, navel to the spine. Feel this movement now in your shoulder blades. Inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, look up, and draw those shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, press your hands into the mat. Tuck the tailbone. Feel the space between the shoulder blades. On the next inhale, we'll come back to center. Take the right toes to the back of the mat and the left fingertips to the front. On the next inhale, lift the right leg, just even with your hip. So no need to lift it really high. We want the hips to stay square to the floor. And then inhale that left arm, palm facing inward, fingertips extending away from those right toes. So really lengthening as if someone's pulling on your hand and your foot. Exhale, release. Nice. Let's take those left toes to the back of the mat, right fingertips to the front. Inhale, lift the left leg, get your balance, and then inhale, lift the right fingertips. And breathe in our spinal balance. Fingers extended, heel extended. Nice. Exhale, release. Let's do that one more time on each side. Take the right toes to the back of the mat, left fingertips to the front. This time on the inhale, lift the arm and the leg together. Nice and strong, really extending through that right heel. Engaging the core and breathing. Don't hold your breath. Exhale, release it. Left toes to the back, right fingertips to the front. Inhale, lift at the same time, nice and strong. And breathe. Exhale, release it. From here, we're going to take those hips back over the heels and come into our child's pose. The knees can be towards the edges of the mat. And then just walk those hands forward to the top of your mat. Child's pose is a resting pose. It's also a nice hip opener. Take a breath here. So anytime during this practice, you want to skip something, want to take a break, just come back to your child's pose. On the next inhale, let's take those right hands and walk them over to the right side of the mat. Getting a nice opening in the left side of the body. Take a breath here. Inhale, walk those hands back to the center of your mat. Exhale, hands go to the left side of the mat. Breathe into the right side of the body, creating space for all this movement we have prepared for today. Inhale those hands back to center. And this time, bring those hands underneath your shoulders and come back up to tabletop. From here, let's walk those hands forward just a little bit towards the top of your mat. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back for our first downward facing dog. Notice how the backs of the legs feel right now. They're going to be a little tight. You can walk it out, lifting the right heel, dropping the left, and then the opposite. Our first downward facing dog today. Really pressing the hands into the mat, lifting the tailbone, and then taking those shoulder blades towards the waist. Let that head drop and just shake it, yes and no. Nice. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, we're going to step to the top of our mat. So take as many steps as you need. We'll come into a forward fold. This is where if you have a block or a canned good, this can be helpful here. Nice forward fold. Again, slight bend in those knees so you can have a little bit of release if you have tight hamstrings. Definitely always good to have a slight bend in your knees. Inhale, half lift, meaning we're going to take that upper body parallel to the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, this time we're gonna rise all the way up, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, fingertips to the sky. Just a little bit of a sun salutation here to get us warmed up. Take those palms together and take a gentle back bend if that feels good. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, fingertips to the sky. Slight back bend here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. This time on our forward fold, plant the hands down to the mat. We're gonna step back with the right foot and then the left to a high plank. So high plank, the knees are lifted. The option here to take those knees gently down to the mat, up to you. From here, we inhale, shift the weight forward, meaning we just go over our hands and wrists a little bit. Exhale, lowering down all the way to the mat. Let's scoot back so you can see me. So the whole front body is on the mat. Inhale, gently pressing through the forearms. Peel the heart off of the mat for cobra. Exhale, release, forehead to the mat. Inhale, using the mat, back of the body, peel the heart off of the mat. Elbows, forearms, and palms are grounded into the mat. Exhale, forehead to the mat. This time, take those hands underneath the shoulders, curl the toes under. Inhale, lift the heart off of the mat, straightening the arms. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back. We're coming into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Notice if your legs are warmed up now. Walk the dog. Inhale that right foot to the sky. Then bend the right knee. Exhale, drop that right heel over the left hip for three-legged dog. So this time you are opening your hip. Breathe. Exhale, bring that knee back to center. And then let's bring that knee through to the tip of our nose. And then plant that right foot down onto the mat. We're in a runner's lunge here. Let's gently place that left knee down onto the mat. Hands are on either side of the right foot in the runner's lunge. Inhale, let's take those hands to the top of the right thigh. You should feel this in your, you could feel this in your left hip flexor. Nice. Take a breath here. Inhale, fingertips to the sky for a little more intensity. But you can even take the palms together and lift for a slight back bend. Exhale, hands back to heart center. And then take those hands to either side of that right foot. On the exhale, let's take the hips, shift them back over the heel for a nice hamstring lengthening here. So the toes have come up into a flexed position. This is another option where if you have canned goods, you could have one on either side. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Let's take that left hand to the inside of the right foot. And then the right hand is going to come up to the sky. Gentle twisting pose here. Take a breath in this pose. Exhale, right hand back down to the mat. Curl the left toes under, creating some space for that right foot to come back to meet the left. We're in our high plank. You can take those knees down. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, lift the chest, upward facing dog. Curl the toes under. Exhale, lift those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale, left foot to the sky. Exhale, bend that left knee and then open the hip. The left heel comes over the right hip. Feel that lengthening all along the left side of the body. Inhale, the leg back to center. Exhale, let's bring that knee through to the nose and then plant that left foot down onto the mat. Runner's lunge. Gently lower down that right knee. Get your balance. And then take the hands to the top of the left thigh. This is good for those who sit at a desk most of the day. Really opening up these hip flexors here. Take a breath. If you tried it on the other side, let's inhale those fingertips to the sky. Clasp the hands together. Exhale for a gentle back bend here. Nice. Exhale, release the hands back to heart center, and then take the hands down to either side of the left foot. Exhale, let's take the hips back over the right heel, peeling those left toes up off of the mat, keeping a slight bend in this left knee. Feel that in your left hamstring possibly. Breathe here. Inhale, coming forward. Bringing that right hand towards the inside of the left foot. Inhale, lift the left fingertips to the sky. Gentle twist here. Take a breath. We tend to hold our breath in twisting poses. Nice. Exhale, take that left hand back down to the mat. Curl those right toes under. Lift the right leg. Take the left toes back to meet the right. We're in our high plank. You can take your yoga push-up from here, or you can drop those knees down. Either way, we're going to shift our weight forward. Exhale, lower down halfway. Elbows are hugging the ribs. Inhale, lift the chest. Lift the heart, look up. Upward facing dog. Curl those toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Noticing how the back of the legs feel now. This forward fold may be a little more comfortable. Inhale, half lift. Hands are on the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's rise all the way up, fingertips to the sky. Nice. Exhale into our chair pose. So our hips are going to come back like we're about to sit into a chair. Knees are going to be over the ankles, really creating some heat in the legs this morning. So arms can stay by the ears, or you can bring them down to heart center. Nice. One more breath here. Exhale, release it, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant those hands down to the mat. Let's step back with the left foot and then the right. Remembering you can take a child's pose and skip a flow at any time. So we're in our high plank. Gently lower those knees down. If you'd like, inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower down halfway, really hugging the elbows to the ribs. Inhale, pushing up into our upward facing dog. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Take a breath here in your downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, lower those heels down. Inhale, right foot to the sky. Exhale, let's bring that right foot through to the top of our mat. In our runner's lunge again. This time we're going to drop the left heel down to the mat so our back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, bringing the fingertips to the sky for warrior one. So you still have a bend in that front leg. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Reach the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, take a little bit more bend in that front knee. Really building some heat and strength through the legs. Everything is active. Pressing into the outer edge of that left foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let's open the arms up to warrior two, gazing over the right fingertips. Again, noticing if your bend in the front knee came out a little bit. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, let's bend into that front knee. Warrior two. On the next inhale, take those right fingertips to the sky. The left arm is going to go down the back leg. Really lengthen through the right side of the body. Take a nice breath here. Exhale, take that right forearm to the right thigh. Left arm comes overhead for side angle. And really work through the core, noticing if you're collapsing into this front thigh, just take a moment to lift and then gently move that right forearm around. Oh, you're doing good. Those of you who need more intensity here, you could take that right arm and bring it out like you're holding a ball. That's really building the heat. Inhale, those left fingertips come to the back of the room, right fingertips to the front. Exhale, let's windmill those hands down to either side of the front foot. We're going to step that right foot back to meet the left. We're in our plank pose. You know here, take your flow or take your child's pose. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Curl those toes under. Inhale, lift the hips up and back. Take a breath here. Inhale, left foot to the sky. Exhale, bring that left foot through to the top of your mat. Nice. Dropping that right heel down to the mat so that right foot's at about a 45-degree angle. Inhale, fingertips to the sky. We're rising up to warrior one. Lengthening here through the crown of the head, through the fingers. On the exhale, see if you can bend into that left knee a little bit more. Also still pressing through the outer edge of that right foot. These warrior poses are strong, leg strengthening poses. Nice. Exhale, let's open up to warrior two. The gaze is over the left fingertips. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, bending a little deeper into that left front leg. Take a breath here, building the heat in the legs. Inhale, the left fingertips to the sky. The right fingertips go down the back leg. Just opening up this left side of the body. And the next exhale, let's take that left forearm down to the top of the left thigh. Right arm comes overhead. Nice side angle. Lengthening here through that right side of the body. Again, trying not to rest too much into that left forearm. On this side, if you tried it on the other side, you could lift that left arm like you're holding a ball. That really increases the intensity of this pose. Nice. Inhale, let's take those right fingertips to the back of the room, left fingertips to the front. Exhale, windmill those hands down to either side of the left foot. And then take that left foot back to meet the right. You know where we are here. You could take your child's pose or your flow. We'll end up in downward facing dog together. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step forward to the top of your mat. We're in forward fold. Take a moment here in forward fold to breathe and to then grab opposite elbows. Notice that puts a little more intensity into this forward fold. Still keeping a bend in the knees. On the next inhale, lift halfway, holding on to the elbows. Just a little more intense. And then exhale, release. And release those elbows. Inhale, rising all the way up. Fingertips to the sky. Exhaling into chair pose. So let's get into our chair pose here. And then we're going to sink a little deeper. Good. Building heat. See if you can lift the toes off of the mat and then gently place them back down. Bring those hands to heart center. Inhale, let's lengthen through the spine, soften those shoulders. Exhale, take that left elbow to the outside of the right thigh for a nice gentle twist here. And it's okay if the elbow doesn't get to that outside of the left thigh. Continue to breathe. Can always take the hands down like this. Sometimes it's a little bit gentler. Nice. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right elbow comes to the outside of the left thigh. And breathe in the twist. Nice. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release it, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to plant those hands down, step back into our plank. This time, let's take that right hand to the center of our mat and gently roll onto the outer edge of that right foot for side plank. Option here to take that right knee down. It's up to you. Other option is to come into your side plank and lift the top leg. Just wherever you are today, honor your body. One more breath here. Lifting those hips. Nice. Exhale, bring that left hand back down to the mat. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Curl those toes under. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Whew. Nice job. Inhale that right foot to the sky. Exhale, bend that knee. Tuck the navel into the spine. Bring that right foot forward to the top of your mat. Runner's lunge here. Drop the back heel. Rise up, fingertips to the sky for warrior one. Again, take a moment here to breathe. Take a look at that front knee. Make sure that you've got a bend going there. and that it's not pointing in towards the big toe. If it is, just take it out a little bit more towards the pinky toe. That's just to help protect our knees. Nice. Let's exhale, open up to warrior two. Nice energy going through the front fingertips all the way through to the back fingertips. So we don't collapse into the pose, we stay nice and strong. Exhale, take that right forearm down to the right thigh, left arm comes overhead. A nice side angle pose here. Nice, and from here, we're gonna straighten the right leg. Take that right hand down towards the ankle. It's okay, it may just hit the shin. And then the left fingertips go up to the sky. Triangle pose. Holding here. Nice. Now energy through those left fingertips, lifting up. Bend the front knee. We're back to warrior two. Exhale, windmill those hands down to the mat. Stepping back to our plank here. This time we'll bring the left hand towards the center of our mat, rolling onto the outer edge of that left foot. Woo, coming into our side plank. Take any modification you need, knee down or leg up, wherever you are today. One more breath here, raise those hips. Nice job. Exhale, take that right hand back down to the mat. From here, we could take our chaturanga, or you could take a child's pose. We've been working hard. We are doing awesome. We're gonna meet in downward facing dog. Curl those toes under, engage the core, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale, lift that left foot to the sky. Exhale, bend that knee, take the navel to the spine. Bring that left foot through to the top of your mat. Drop that right heel down. Inhale up to warrior one. Press through the outer edge of that right foot. Exhale, opening up to warrior two. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Active through the fingertips. Nice. Inhale, left fingertips to the sky. Right hand goes down the back leg. Feel that nice lengthening in the left side of the body and the strength in the legs. Exhale, left forearm to left thigh. Right arm comes overhead. Nice strong pose here. Breathing into that side body. From here, we're gonna gently straighten the left leg with a little bit of bend still in that knee. Left fingertips are reaching down towards the floor. Right fingertips are towards the sky for triangle pose. And hold here. The gaze can be towards the fingertips, towards the ceiling, or down towards the floor. Nice. On the next inhale, bending the left knee, coming back up into warrior two. Gaze is over the front fingertips. Exhale, windmill those arms down to either side of the left foot. Stepping back to plank. Last flow here. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Nice. Curl those toes under. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, step forward to the top of your mat, forward fold. Nice. Inhale, half lift. Hands are to the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's rise all the way up, fingertips to the sky. Little back bend here if you'd like. Exhale, bring those hands down to heart center. Nice job. We're going to come into our balance pose here. I'll stay sideways. So from here, we're going to come into half moon. So if you have a canned good or a block, you may want it here just to bring the floor up a little bit. We're going to press down into the right foot. Bring the left leg and knee up. Nice, gently step back with that left foot into a crescent lunge. Inhale, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Fingertips are forward. Begin to lift the left foot off of the mat. Right fingertips are coming down to the mat. The left can come down first too. And then we'll move those right fingertips towards the center of our mat. Roll the left hip open, left fingertips to the sky. Balancing half moon. That left heel is active. You're flexing that left foot. Gaze can be down towards the mat or up towards the fingertips, towards the ceiling. That's more challenging for our balance. And our balance is different every day. Some days we may have great balance. Some days not so much. Nice. Exhale, let's release those left fingertips back down to the mat. Don't release that left foot just yet. Let's extend that left foot up towards the ceiling, standing splits. Slight bend in that right knee. Fingertips are both onto the mat. Exhale, let's bring that left foot down to meet the right. Whew. That right leg should be nice and on fire right now. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release it. Forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Slight back bend here. Nice. Exhale, hands to heart center. So you know what we do on one side, we do on the other in yoga. So ground into that left foot. Lift that right knee. Begin to take that right foot to the back of your mat. Staying on the toes here for crescent lunge. Get your balance here. Inhale, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, begin to hinge forward and lift that right foot off of the mat. So this is really warrior three. We're going to take it from here. Bring those fingertips down to the mat. That right heel is extending, that right leg is extending out towards the wall behind you. Left fingertips come towards the center of your mat. And then those right fingertips reach to the sky, balancing half moon. I didn't say this, but this is where a block or canned good would come in handy. Just give it your best. These balancing poses really challenge our focus. Really extend through that right heel. Remembering you can gaze towards the floor or towards the ceiling. Now, gazing towards the ceiling is definitely more challenging. Nice. Let's bring that right hand back down to the mat. Shift the hips square. Lift the right foot towards the ceiling for our standing splits. Ooh. Nice. On your exhale, let's bring that right foot back to meet the left. Yay, we're in forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe even grabbing onto the backs of the calves. And then let's inhale, rising all the way up, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to transition down to the mat. So you can just bend your knees and come down into a seated position. Actually, I'm going to face you. There we go. We'll do a little stretching here because you guys worked so hard. So let's take the right leg out to the side. The left foot is going to come towards the inside of the right thigh. And just sit up nice and tall. And then on the next exhale, let's take that right hand down the back of the right leg. The left arm is going to come up and over. Now, this is going to look different for everyone. Some people may be able to take this left arm and reach all the way to the outside, the pinky side toe of their right foot. Some of us can maybe be here. So just wherever your body is today, take this nice side lengthening, chest opening stretch. Nice. And then from here, let's shift our upper body, our torso, facing the leg. So going from here, shifting our gaze towards our leg. You may be here, hands to the calf, or the hands may come down to the foot. So head to knee pose. So the head can work its way towards the knee. Breathing here in this nice stretch, maybe feeling it in your lower back. On the next inhale, begin to walk those hands slowly up the leg. And then we'll bring it back to center. And let's take that left leg out to the side. Right foot comes to the left inner thigh. Sitting up nice and tall. We'll take that left hand and arm down the back of the left leg. Right arm comes up and over. Doing our side stretch first. And breathing here. Noticing where you feel this the most. And then sending the breath there to that spot. One more breath here. And on the exhale, let's shift our torso towards the floor. Head to knee pose. Each side may be a little different. So just without forcing the body too much. Don't want any pain. You just want a nice sensation. One more breath here. On the next inhale, let's walk those hands gently and slowly up the left leg. Back to center. Nice. Let's bring those knees together. Take our hands behind our hips. Lifting through the chest. And just let the knees drop side to side. And then back to center. Let's come up to, I'm going to turn sideways. Here we go. From here, let's gently roll down onto the mat. Nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Nice, keeping those knees bent. Bringing them in a little bit closer. Let's take the right ankle and place it on top of the left thigh. So this is reclined pigeon. It's going to be a hip stretch. If this is enough for you, stay here. If not, lift the left foot off of the mat. Take your hands and loop them around the back of your left thigh. And then you have the control to bring in the legs as much as you need to for this stretch. I keep the feet active, so flex the feet. And breathe. One more breath here. See if you've got a little more space to bring those legs closer to you. And then exhale, gently releasing that left foot back down to the mat. Uncross the legs. And we'll take that left ankle to the top of the right thigh. And then lift that right foot off of the mat. Take those hands around the right thigh. And then you have the control to pull that right thigh in towards your body. Remembering that each side is different. So one side might be a little tighter than the other, and that's okay. One of the reasons we do yoga is for balance in our bodies. Noticing where there's tension, sending the breath there. Inhale. Exhale, let the tension go. On the next exhale, gently releasing that right foot back down to the mat, uncrossing the legs. We have our bridge pose here, bringing those heels towards your bottom a little bit more. We're going to lift through the heels, lifting the hips, making sure that the knees stay hip distance apart. We don't want our knees splaying out to the sides. It's not good for our knees. And then if you'd like a shoulder opener here, you can roll the shoulders underneath and clasp the hands underneath your lower back. That's just an option, not necessary. You try and see what works for you. If you have a yoga block, you can place it underneath your lower back. Just decreases the intensity of the pose. We're going to stay here a few more breaths. Really lifting those hips, engaging the quadriceps, engaging the glutes. One more breath. On the exhale, if your hands are clasped, release the hands, gently lower down one vertebrae at a time. Nice. Let's bring those knees into the chest. Give them a hug. Rock side to side. And take those knees back to center. Open the arms to a T. Let's gently drop those knees over to the right side of the mat. You can gaze over your left shoulder, seeing if that left shoulder and the right shoulder can be flat on the mat. If not, that's okay. You could take that right hand, put a little pressure on top of that left thigh. See if that gives you a little more length in the left side of the body. And on the next inhale, gently bringing those knees back to center. Exhale, drop those knees over to the left side of the mat. You can look over your right shoulder. Again, noticing if that right shoulder and left shoulder can both stay on the mat. And then take that left hand, place it on top of the right thigh. Just give a gentle press. See if there's any more room there. Breathing in these twisting postures. One more breath here. On the exhale, bringing those knees back to center. Giving them one more hug. Check our time here. Nice. So we can end with a happy baby, which we take the knees out to the side. Soles of the feet are towards the ceiling. Knees are pointed towards the floor. You could grab onto the outside edge of each foot, or you could grab the big toe, or the backs of the calves, or the ankles. So wherever you are, and then gently press the tailbone into the mat. Notice a little more hip opening there. And then you can rock side to side. Give that lower back, mid back, and upper back a massage. And then coming back to center. Gently release the feet. Bring the knees back together. Take the soles of the feet down to the mat. This last few minutes of class, I just take you through a brief relaxation. We close our eyes and we let the body just be. So a couple of options here. You could take those legs out straight. If you have a pillow or a blanket, you can place it underneath your knees if you have low back issues, or you could keep your knees bent. So whatever is most comfortable for you. Another one is keep the knees bent, the knees stay together, and the feet come out to the edges of the mat. So just a few options here. Begin to settle the breath. Notice that you have been controlling your breath for almost an hour. So take a moment here to just let the breath come in and out at its own pace, no control. Allowing the body to weigh heavy on the mat. Relaxing the jaw. Let the tongue separate from the roof of the mouth. Soften the space between the eyebrows. And release the forehead. Gently begin to wiggle the toes and the fingers. Circle the wrists, circle the ankles. Take a nice deep breath in, taking those arms overhead and pointing your toes. Exhale, release. And then gently rolling over to your right side. Taking a moment here of gratitude for your able body. And then notice the difference that you feel now from the beginning of your practice. And on the next inhale, slowly begin to rise into a seated position. We'll take a few breaths here together. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhaling. Exhaling. One last time together. Let's inhale those hands overhead. Exhale the hands to heart center. Thank you so much for letting me lead you in your practice today. I hope you all have an amazing day. Namaste. Okay. Any questions or anything, feel free to reach out through Amy, and I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Robin.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome.